Hello everyone, I greet you in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Silas, and today we have a very interesting video to react to. It's actually a video that some of us are very familiar with, and it says the 9 shocking facts in the Quran. And then therefore we have a brother, and he says that he's an apostate prophet, so he decides to debunk the 9 shocking facts miracle in the Quran. Actually, this very topic I have reacted to it before with my friend Nancy Grace, but then this brother says that he has decided to debunk this video, and then I was recommended to react to this video by Hafiz. Brother Hafiz sent me this video, and he says that I should check this out, and then I got to realize that this brother is debunking all the 9 shocking miracle in the Quran. So I decided that let me share this with you all, and then also hear your own thought and opinion concerning this very video, since it is something that I have already reacted to it. And then therefore he was saying that people are actually reacting to this video to get sympathy from Islam, and then he is also urging its followers to stay away from Islam. It shows that the brother has been Muslim before, so when we get out the video, we can be able to like hear some of the things that he will be saying concerning some of the things that has to do with creation, the universe, the Quran, iron, and so many saying that Prophet Muhammad says in the Quran. So this brother will be debunking the video, so I decided to share this with you. So I want you to watch this in a sense along with me, even though at the end of it I may not necessarily have to say anything concerning this, because I have already reacted to it before and I have seen some of the miracle, even though I tend to believe some of the things that I saw in the video. But then he'll be debunking it, so let's check it out in the sense together and then hear what he will be saying. If you agree with him, I would like to see your thought and opinion also at the comment section concerning this video. So if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's thought or opinion or even belief, but this is basically for educational purposes, and I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from this. So guys, without any further ado, let's get down to this video and check this out together.
Hi everyone and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope you're having a great day. I came across a video that I saw in the past but ignored. A video that some non-Muslims who like to milk Muslim views apparently react to and act impressed. So I had a look at the video and quickly concluded within the first minutes that you must be very dumb or ignorant or simply dishonest to be impressed by that video. No offense. The video is called 9 Shocking Facts from the Quran. Spoiler alert, the facts are not very shocking, or they were heavily twisted to make them shocking. The first shocking fact is that the Quran miraculously says,
"We made every living thing from water. Will they not believe?"
And we know today that animal bodies mostly consist of water.
We now know that cells are mostly made up of water. In the deserts of Arabia, the last thing someone would have guessed is that all life came from water.
Wow. Honestly, I felt a little bit angry at the sheer dishonesty that I saw here. I wasn't very surprised though, but still a little bit angry. It's just exhausting. The full verse goes like this: "Have the disbelievers not seen that the heavens and the earth were a joint entity, and we separated them and made from water every living thing? Will they then not believe?" What the Quran describes here is actually a very primitive creation myth that is neither very enlightened nor unique to the Quran, although that's what the speaker in the video clearly indicates.
But the Quran makes a very unusual claim. In the deserts of Arabia, the last thing someone would have guessed is that all life came from water.
Do yourself a favor right now, don't trust me. Go on Google and search for water creation myth. What you will see immediately is mostly not Islam. You will get results about ancient religions, ancient myths, and you will see that many ancient cultures long before Islam and after Islam believed in different creation myths where there was once a giant or endless ocean known as the cosmic ocean or the primordial waters, and then other things were made from or above this ocean. Such myths are part of the Sumerian creation myth, the Japanese creation myth, Egyptian myths, even Indian and Greek mythologies have elements like these. Because if you are surrounded by an endless ocean and you don't know what is beyond that ocean, you don't know anything else, then there are only so many things that you can come up with, trying to explain the world around you in a primitive way. If you look at the Quran, the idea that Allah was over the water before He created the heavens and the earth is actually found. In this verse, the Quran describes that He created this earth and the multiple heavens, also a feature found in creation myths, and that He then separated them and made living beings from this water. The next verse primitively describes that Allah put mountains onto this earth so it doesn't shake, which is scientifically wrong on so many levels. And in the verse after that, it says that Allah made the sky a ceiling. This is all primitive, not unique. In fact, we even have a report in which Muhammad is reported to have said that there was Allah and He was above the water, and then He created the heavens and the earth. Does that make sense? Primitive. So the Quran verse, which says that Allah made every living being from water, doesn't have all these deeper, miraculous scientific explanations. No, it is also not shocking at all, not even close. The second point of the video is even more ridiculous. It says that the Quran miraculously tells us that iron came from outer space.
Scientists have found that billions of years ago, the Earth was struck by meteorites. These meteorites were carrying iron from distant stars, which had exploded. The Quran says, "We sent down iron with its great inherent strength and its many benefits for humankind." God uses the words "sent down" for iron. The fact that iron came down to Earth from outer space could not be known by the primitive science of the 7th century.
First off, iron doesn't exclusively come from space. According to our scientific knowledge, updated scientific knowledge, iron was there on the Earth at the very beginning when the Earth was formed. If you want to have it this way, technically all elements that are on the Earth came from space. Thirdly, the Quran is completely ignorant about things like space or planets or galaxies and all that. It doesn't mention any of these things at all. The only thing that the Quran says is that Allah sent down something. In Arabic, anzalna. This is a big deception because if we look for the words sent down in the Quran, many things are sent down according to the Quran, such as Allah's command, angels, verses, the Quran, books, water, food, clothing, cattle. Is this also a shocking miracle? Do cows regularly come flying from outer space on asteroids? Does food come shooting down with meteoroids? Is it cooked when the meteoroids burn up? Did my clothes here come from outer space? No. When the Quran says that Allah sent down something, what it describes is that Allah is above us, above the heavens, according to Islamic knowledge. And He sends down such things, such as rain or water or food or cattle. He gives them to us from above where He is. That's what the Quran means. This is not a shocking miracle. The third shocking fact is that the Quran describes the sky as a protective sky.
The sky plays a crucial role in protecting the earth. We made the sky a protective ceiling, and yet they are turning away from our signs.
And behold, the sky protects us from sun rays.
The sky protects the earth from the lethal rays of the sun.
Muslim apologists are very sensitive about meaning and context when we criticize Islam, but they seem to be completely careless when they argue for Islam. This verse in the Quran describes the heaven as a protected ceiling, not as a ceiling that protects. This is complemented by other verses which describe the heaven as a solid firmament which was built and raised by Allah and which is held up by Him so it doesn't fall down on us. Which is ridiculous. A heaven which doesn't even have a crack. A heaven which will be rolled up one day. And the Quran also says that the stars are in this heaven in order to protect the heaven from evil devils who try to go up to the heavens and steal knowledge from Allah and the angels. But the angels then shoot the stars at them, and that is what shooting stars are. This is what the Quran means by protected sealing. This is not a shocking fact nor a miracle. The only thing that is shocking here is that people still believe in such an immensely ignorant book. But well, leaving Islam is hard because of all the massive graphic threats of torture in the afterlife and the death penalty for apostasy, of course. Number 4 is about mountains.
The Quran draws our attention to a very important characteristic of mountains. Did we not make the earth as a resting place and the mountains as stakes? The Quran indicates that mountains have deep roots by using the word stakes to describe them.
What? Get out of here, man!
In fact, mountains do have deep roots, and the word stakes is an accurate description for them.
This is a stake. How does saying Allah made the mountains as stakes indicate that mountains have deep roots? Mountains have buoyant roots, floating roots. Mountains form by plates colliding and pushing against, under, and above each other. It takes a long time for mountains to form, because they are the ground that we walk on, which smashes into each other and then rises necessarily, or goes under, moves, and deforms. The Quran, however, describes the mountains as stakes which are firm and which were planted into the earth by Allah so that the earth does not shake. None of these things is remotely true. It's rather laughable. I would really love to talk to a specialist, a seismologist about this stuff, and would really like to see their reaction. In the 5th fact, the video asserts that the Quran accurately describes an expanding universe in chapter 51 verse 47, and that this agrees with our newfound understanding of the expanding universe.
And it is we who have built the universe with our creative power and keep expanding it. The fact that the universe is expanding was discovered in the last century.
The theory is that our universe is constantly expanding, and this is a supporting evidence for the Big Bang theory. What the Quran verse describes, however, is that Allah built the heaven with His power, and that He expanded the heaven, as He also built the earth and spread the earth. As mentioned, the Quran is completely ignorant of the universe and of space. What the Quran means to describe is that Allah built the heaven, the sky, and made it huge above us, which, as we have established, is ignorance. Also, it really stinks that the author of this video asserts that the Quran correctly describes our protective sky, while also asserting that the Quran describes an expanding universe, when in both cases the Quran is explicitly using the same word and referring to this sky or heaven above us. In number 6, the video asserts that the Quran describes the sun's orbit around the Milky Way.
It is now a well-established scientific fact that the sun is not stationary, but is moving in an orbit around the center of our Milky Way galaxy. The Quran mentions the orbit of the sun. It is He who created night and day, the sun and the moon, each floating in its orbit.
What the verse says, to be precise, is that the night and the day and the sun and the moon each are swimming in an orbit. Looking up to the sky and watching the sun and the moon go by every day from one end to the other end above us. And the next day this same thing happens again and again. It is not hard to then come up with the description that the sun and the moon are swimming in an orbit. Probably like this. You know, because it comes from there, it goes back on the other side, then it comes again back from that side, goes over there, comes back from that side. Makes sense. And both of them do that. They chase each other like this. That makes sense. How in the world do you connect this to the sun's own orbit around the Milky Way? The Quran says in other verses that Allah brings the sun from the east, that the moon and the sun chase each other, that they can never overtake each other, that the sun runs toward a stopping point, that it runs for a specified term every day, that the sun has a rising place, a setting place, that it sets in a muddy spring, and more. Just ask Muhammad. He thought that the sun goes to prostrate to Allah every night and comes back in the morning after asking Allah for permission to rise again. Doesn't really sound like the Milky Way. In number 7, the video says that the Quran compares the deeds of disbelievers to darknesses covered by seas, waves and clouds. And the video then says that oceanographers discovered that there are internal waves deep inside the ocean in dark places, and that therefore this Quran verse is a miracle. In number 8, the video talks about how the Quran threatens a disbeliever by saying that if the disbeliever doesn't stop, then Allah will drag him by his forelock, his lying, sinful forelock. The video then asserts that this is a miracle because science has discovered today that people use their frontal lobe when they are lying.
Numerous studies have shown that this same region, frontal lobe, is responsible for the lying function of the brain.
What I noticed much too late is that they actually changed the word forelock in this Quran verse into forehead in this video, which makes it sound more like a shocking Quran fact.
No, indeed. If he does not stop, we will seize him by the forehead, his lying, sinful forehead.
I can't believe I'm responding to this, but when the Quran says that Allah will seize the guy by his forelock and drag him, which is also described in a different verse in which Allah will seize the sinners by their forelocks and feet, then I'm sure it simply tries to make an assertion of power. I will drag them by their forelocks, instead of trying to make a brilliant point about neuroscience. You know, in America, people call each other dumbass, or they say, I will smack your stupid ass. That doesn't mean that people are indicating that people's butt cheeks are responsible for how intelligent or stupid they are. Secondly, the frontal lobe is responsible for deliberate action. Lying makes different parts of the brain move. Thirdly, if we really want to go down this road, then we should maybe look at other parts of the Quran, where it repeatedly talks about what the disbelievers and hypocrites hide in their hearts, and how the disbelievers have hearts with which they do not understand. Because people in the past used to think that the heart has such functions, although we know today by modern science that the heart is not responsible for any such thing, for thoughts, knowledge, or intelligence. You shot yourself in the foot with that. And finally, in number 9, the video says that the Quran miraculously points out that our skin is responsible for perceiving pain, because the Quran describes in chapter 4 verse 56 that we will be tortured in hell, and whenever our skin is burned we will be given new skin to continue feeling the pain.
We shall send those who reject our revelations to the hellfire. When their skins have been burned away, we shall replace them with new ones so that they may continue to feel the pain. The discovery of pain receptors in the skin is a fairly recent discovery for biology.
So hey, imagine, the Quran describes that when we go to hell and we are tortured there for our disbelief, then our skin will burn up from the fire, but Allah will give us new skin so we can keep perceiving the pain and keep being tortured. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a miracle, because we know today, thanks to science, that the human skin has receptors that are responsible for feeling pain. And these are the 9 shocking facts about the Quran, which believing viewers like, and some others react to, and some pretend to be impressed by. You know, recently I have been very understanding and very nice, and I have a lot of compassion for people's flaws and their faults and all that. But I can't help it, I have to say that humans can be incredibly stupid. If you want to see something real about the Quran, then I suggest that you should sit down and watch my video, The Scientific Mistakes of the Quran, in which I have listed and explained 60 scientific mistakes in the Quran. That is shocking. People, please don't fall for this nonsense. It is so stupid. Don't lower and humiliate yourself. Don't let them insult your intelligence. You are better than that. Sorry for preaching. Thanks for watching. I will be back. Have a fantastic day and stay away from Islam.
So guys, this is the end of this very video. Of course, we have here some of the things that this brother have said concerning the miracles in the Quran. So I do not know, do you believe some of the things you understand he said? I want to see your thought and opinion at the comment section. Let's all deliberate concerning this at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. And I see you in my next video. Shall I say happy Ramadan? Of course, Ramadan is coming very soon, so we'll be getting into Ramadan, and God will be with us all, and then have a wonderful day. Bye bye.